And background, and action.
I made a lot of movies, and this film was like fun. Everybody knew what they were doing and could have done it better. Everything just fell into place. Everything just worked right.
I read Georgia Rule at least 10 years ago, and it was a picture that a lot of people weren't rushing to do because it was funny, but it had a serious side to it. And I'm so glad that Morgan Creek was brave enough to try to do a risky picture.
I thought it would be interesting to do what they call a chick flick.
We can all survive, Simon. We just don't have to be so damn sad doing it.
Jim Robinson said women, all women throughout this country will be able to identify with one, if not all of the women in this movie. It's very universal, and I think he's right.
Mark Andrus wrote a fantastic script, so I wanted to be a part of it.
Oh, it makes me sick that one of you is so convincing.
Just tell me what you need from me and I'll do it.
I need the truth.
I read it really in one sitting and it was just very compelling.
They're all multidimensional characters, and they all have humor as well as pathos and depth.
The cast came together incredibly, and it's a great group of people.
I think casting is extremely important, especially when you have a script with your characters. There's words. You got to say the words.
Just forgive me.
Forgiven!
I was afraid you'd run off and marry an idiot, lose everything you had a chance at, just like me.
I want my panties back when you're done with them.
This is about knowing the difference between right and wrong, between the truth and a lie.
I will find all of your boyfriends, and I will fuck them stupid.
Keep your dress on. I got you a job.
Oh my God, you're hard!
I knew from reading the script that there's a lot of funny in here. It's rare that you laugh out loud.
There was a time you'd have dragged me by my hair out of here.
I'm too old. So's your hair. In the hands of most other directors, it could have been too dark. And I knew that with Gary, it would be one of these movies where you're laughing and crying throughout.
You hear this word chemistry all the time. You could fall asleep from the chemistry, but it really helps if you have something going in the chemistry area. And I don't mean romantic chemistry necessarily, but just acting chemistry. And all these people work very well off each other. The picture is really fascinating if you are interested in particularly good acting. If you have 3 generations who can't act, forget it. I wanted Felicity Huffman, but Felicity Huffman is on that show, Desperate Housewives, so we shot on weekends because she gave up her weekends to come shoot with us while she was doing Desperate Housewives. And it did mean we had to schedule a little differently, but it was well worth it.
And background, and action.
We'll find our way through this.
The character of Arnold in Georgia Rule, a lot of the actors did not want to play. It was too tough a role, so they avoided it. And lo and behold, Gary Elwes came and was quite good in this role and was not afraid of it. He said, let me try it.
Everything's fine. Let's talk about business.
Georgia Rule is really about secrets and lies.
If I had touched my daughter, I wouldn't be here.
I like what the script had to say about all the characters, but specifically mine.
I'll see you in court.
It didn't hold back any punches. It really just went for the jugular, so to speak.
She seduced me.
Action.
This was the lowest budget I ever shot with, and the least number of days, and I found it fascinating, very challenging, and thank goodness my son Scott was with me, because he's used to the low budget, and he helps me move along.
Okay, rehearsal's up. Here we go.
I think you have a hand-picked crew in there that I've been working long enough, so I got the crew I know. And when in doubt, you bring in relatives. Nepotism is a part of my work.
In an unspoken way, one of the stars of the show is the small town America. It's something that possibly we're losing in this country. A town that hasn't been co-opted and corrupted, that's bedrock. It works a magic on this young girl who's so lost.
I don't think there's any way this movie could have been made on location, just logistically. I love Idaho. but it's more convenient for me to be shooting in Southern California with the family and other pursuits. So I read it and I thought, this can be tough on location with all the other things I got to do. But then they're like, no, we're shooting it in LA for Idaho.
We were doing small towns, so we shot it in places where we could control the amount of time the actresses were working, because they were all very busy.
We're shooting it in the San Fernando Valley, Chatsworth, Monrovia, Santa Paula. You know what they do in Santa Paula is they just write Idaho on the train and on the water tower and on the side of the building. They just paint it on there so that that'll make it Idaho. All the license plates say Famous Potatoes or whatever. Some of these countrysides are really rugged and remote, and they look as much like a country road with mountains in the background as the country roads in Idaho do.
We've been up around Acton, which is further north than Pasadena.
You're a dangerous girl, aren't you?
Right now we're in Santa Paula. It's really got a small town sort of feel, store shops on both sides of the street.
You know, they used to say a rock's a rock, a lake's a lake. Not really. But today, with CGIing and fixing and fussing, you can make scenic and vista. Views look beautiful. So we shot in Franklin Canyon Lake instead of Lake Sherwood. We got a lot of lakes in Idaho.
When you get a vista shot, hello CGI, I went through trees on that hill, because the hills don't have trees, obviously. They have scrub brush, which frequently is brown. It's the magic of movies.
To forgive is to move forward. Georgia Rule.
All three bases were covered. Good story, good cast, good director, and something we've never done before. So this has been a lot of fun.